Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10, and go to the Grizzly Gentleman and use promo code 6 for 10% off at checkout. Both of these are fantastic deals, and they really do help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? 36 back with more Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we're playing an oldie but a favorite. We're playing some good old-fashioned Exile, mono Exile Tribal. Every card in our deck, besides lands, has the word Exile on it somewhere. I'm not lying to you. Literally every single card in here has Exile. There are some other cards that I have in the sideboard. This essentially is just like, these are other cards I thought about using but didn't. Woo! I didn't actually add anything from Ikoria because I didn't feel like any of the Ikoria cards were great. There was Extinction Event, but since we're playing in Historic, we have access to Settle the Wreckage, and generally speaking, that's just better. This deck is a control deck, but it's a control deck that has strict parameters. Can only use things that have Exile in the name. For Yarok's Fenlurker, early creature that we can use to chump block after we play it, but typically we just exile a card from their hand. 3 Agonizing Remorse, we exile a card from their hand or graveyard, which is nice. 2 Despark, we get rid of something really annoying. This is pretty much it. 2, we have a lot of 2-ofs in this deck because of how many cards I wanted to play. 2 Hounds, it makes it so that, oh wait, this one doesn't have exile. Alright, well, this has to go. For some reason I thought it had exile. Gonna go and throw in a Thief of Sanity. Fuck. Didn't do what I thought it would do. I spelled thief wrong because I'm stupid. Gonna put in some Thief of Sanity. Thief of Sanity exiles the top of our opponent's library, and we get to cast that card. Woo! Banishing Light, catch all answer, which is pretty helpful. 2 Cry the Carnarium to get rid of annoying super aggro decks. 2 Teferi the Time Raveler. Wait, you don't have exile either. The hell is going on here? I think I might have deleted the wrong deck. Shit. I think I deleted the wrong deck. So I've had 2 versions of this before, and I think I deleted the wrong one. 2 Elspeth's Nightmare. Exiles an opponent's graveyard and does other things, which is cool. 3 Kaya, this is kind of our main win condition. We essentially get a bunch of cards in our opponent's exile, and then we dome them for that much. We also gain that much life, which is very helpful. 2 Ashiok Dreamrender, they force our opponent to exile the graveyard, which is great. 2 Hostage Taker, exile something, then we steal it. 2 Settle the Wreckage, it's a board wipe that exiles. 2 Ashiok's Erasure is a counterspell that exiles. 2 E2 Extinction, it's targeted removal that exiles. Elspeth Conquers Death is essentially the Eldest Reborn, except it exiles. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, his emblem exiles, alright? Shut up. He also just draws cards. And then 3 Ashioks. Fun fact, the creatures that they make, exile. The -3, exile. And then the -7 uses those cards from exile. Cool. This is the mana base. It's garbage, but shut up. This is a meme deck, and I just want to have fun, because Winota is gone. Winota has been, I guess, emergency suspended in Historic. Get fucked. We do not have a sideboard with this deck, so we're going to go ahead and just go to best of 1, shall we? I have a lot of recording to do today, and I'm starting later than usual. But yeah, I'm recording this, then I'm recording, this hand's fine. I think we do, well, we'll do this on turn 1 into this. We have this into that, yeah. And we're going first, which is great. We don't want to land. That's fine. Words are hard. I'm recording this, then I'm recording the next episode for the spoilers, the M21 spoilers. A lot of interesting things still on day 2 of spoiler. Day 3? Who cares? I don't know. Monday of... It's an Ulamog deck. And that has me very scared. They're a ramp of some kind. But what kind? Then I'm going... blue-green, of course. The only real kind of ramp. I'm going to try to... See, now I just want to cry the Carnarium. Despark is incredibly helpful. Because, fun fact, it exiles Ulamog. The issue is that if my opponent, you know, casts the Ulamog, then I'm going to lose some things. But hopefully they're relatively far away from that. Then I'm going to try to record episodes 4 and 5 of... excuse me. 4 and 5 of... Shit. Stone Shard. Yep, that's fine. I will play another one. Yeah, I'll keep that. Okay. So I have another one. Got a good old Despark. Hostage Taker. Cavalier. Okay, so that's going to get taken. Yikes. I need them to not be able to remove this, though. But yeah, we hostage take first. Yoink. Then I yeet my opponent down low. They have 7 mana next turn. Take the Predator Druid, I guess. So, theoretically... So there might be Nyxbloom Ancient here. That would be very, very bad. Just a Crisis, okay. Currently can't deal with this Crisis. Never mind, I can deal with this Crisis. Question is, do I want to deal with this Crisis? I guess so. Accrue more value with Thief, maybe?
Welcome to my domain.
They get to, I mean, they get to use this again, but I'm fine with that.
But a dream to me.
Yeah, let's get some dabblage in. Don't mind if I do. I don't think I'll ever be able to cast this, but, you know, don't mind if I do. I do have a couple of Discord questions that I'll get to in just a moment. Mistakes. This man's is playing mass manipulation. Oh, that's what I like to call not good. They're gonna Uro here. Uro is awkward. I think I have to Despark this, perhaps. I would absolutely love to grab an Ashiok. The other one. 1, 2... No, they just Crisis again. Okay. Not what I was asking for.
Creeping, thieving progeny.
I'll cast this. Do 4, 6. I'm 4 lands away. Oh god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh no. No, this is Nissa. Yeah. Okay, Nissa untap Forest. Oh yay! Love one of my lands. Rude. Okay. Well, I can at the very least exile Ulamog. So that's nice. No, I'm good. Nissa is going to become an issue. Damn, I'd have preferred if they drew that. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. That is exactly what I wanted to see.
Do not underestimate my fortitude.
Goodbye. So I do get the negative on my Cav, so I can't actually use it to get back my Conqueror's Death, but I think it is reasonable. And I can Ashiok. So I want them to empty their hand here. Unless it's another Ulamog, in which case I would like you to not play that last card. It looks like they're going to do that. So I don't think they're going to empty their hand, but... Oh, right, excuse me. Boop. This is my new avatar.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Damn it, can't you get rid of the card in your hand?
There is little as exquisite as the artistry of torment.
I think one of my outs this game is ultimating this Ashiok. 2, 4, 7, yeah. They went straight to attack, which is interesting. Why didn't they plus their Nissa first?
Harness the elements.
I don't like what's happening. Why are you looking at your graveyard? But why? I guess just because they have a lot of mana, so. Although now I can exile their Nissa. Because I'm not gonna be able to use Ashiok, unfortunately. So I can exile their Nissa. I would have to like chump block that. 3, 6, 8. I'm like 2 away from Ulamog, so I don't think I can win this. I don't know. Groups ask, how excited are you for a 3 fairy and a 4 fairy and a 5 fairy curve in Historic? Because I'm fearing it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to make it Teferi tribal deck. It has to happen. It's gonna get a lot of hate, but it's also gonna get a lot of views. It's also gonna be funny. Like, that curve is gonna be ridiculous. Yeah, if they go all in to the point where I can't save it, I'm just gonna let it go, let it go. Yeah, so there's literally nothing I can do to save Ashiok in this situation. So I'm just going to get a nice kill on Paradise Druid. Man. Oh, Settle the Wreckage is nice. I'm going to cast this. And essentially make them think this is what I just drew. So my opponent might just ult Nissa. Question is, will they? No, it looks like they might plus. Casting an arrow. Sure. Sure. Yeah, so I think Teferi Trouble is going to be hilarious in Historic, but you know, whatevs. It's awkward.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I'm gonna let them draw that card first, because it could have been a land. They only have 6 cards left in the deck. They only have 4 cards left in the deck. Alright. I have a chance. Oh, hell yeah, baby. I mean, at this point, I just need to survive. Yeah, I don't want to take the chance of either getting my Paradise Druid stolen. Like, if they -8 on Nissa, like, what are they gonna do? Nothing. Like, Nissa's gonna be able to +1 anyway. I have one of their Ulamogs. 1, 2, 3. So they don't have any more Ulamogs. Why would you do that? They have 2 cards left. They have to kill me in 2 turns. They have this turn. No. They have this turn, next turn, and the turn following. So I could still die. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3. Fuck, that's counting this one. Oh, no. Fuck off. They should cut me off double white. Yeah. I mean, I guess I still have Paradise Druid. I need... I mean, I have some things. Hostage Taker, Elspeth Conquers Death. Oh, fuck, I think I have one of those. Banishing Light, even. Like, I still have one of those. Oh, I might lose, though. Fuck. It had to be another Ulamog. Why didn't they... Oh, because it would have... I'm alive on 1? Yeah, I'm alive on 1.
Harness the elements.
I died. Are you kidding me?
We are all connected.
Damn. I was so close. Rip me. Alright, we are going to do some restructuring. Okay. Fenlurker's great. Agonizing Remorse, I don't think I need as much because I got the Fenlurkers. I do want a little bit more targeted removal, so I want one of these. Let's get rid of one of these. This card, not really necessary. Thief of Sanity is still fine. Ashiok's Erasure. Honestly, Ashiok's Erasure I think can bite my ass. And then I'm going to actually put in some Extinction Events. Do I want to have 1 Erasure? Now I'm going to up the Conqueror stuff. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Sin Pyro asks, I know when more of the Spark story was revealed, I was disappointed in the actual number of Planeswalker casualties, and was thinking for something that was supposed to be a big finale to the Bolas arc, it was played rather safe. Do you feel that Wizards played it too safe with the war story? No. I'm the type of person who doesn't mind characters like not dying. I don't think that there needs to be life and death stakes for the Planeswalkers necessarily. This hand is fine. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Oh, fudge. Oh, no. Well, Extinction Event can maybe help. Oh, I'm gonna die. Not like this. Not like this. I'm looking for a top deck Carnarium. I mean, I guess that wouldn't even work if my opponent plays Tempered Steel next turn. Alright, I mean, if I can survive to Extinction Event on odds, then that's pretty decent. So they get rid of this. So they only have one card left. And not a lot of power on board, actually. Okay. Oh, they could have still done that before blocks. I'm gonna go ahead and just Nightmare this Ornithopter. Because it's the only thing that wouldn't get hit by my Extinction Event. So, go away. It also flies. Okay, yeah, so... I, generally speaking, I don't need the war story to be, like, a bunch of known characters die. I don't know. It's not super important to me. That said, technically more characters died than we kind of saw. Oh wow, double Tempered Steel. Do this. Then what if I do? Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Then we're in a good spot. So, Dovin, I think, is actually... Spoiler alert. Dovin Bond, I think, has been killed as well. My main concern, really, is the extent to which... Do I want to just odd here? Not really. I don't really see a reason to. I'm not really under any duress. I guess I might as well. Because I can Hostage Take or something else. Yeah, these are all odd. So. Cool. My main thing is, does it make sense... Not does it make sense in the story. Can you justify the removal of potential story? And I think with Domri Raid, whatever the hell his name is, I think his story was essentially done. Right, he was this upstart member of Gruul. He was very insular. You know, he was very much like the I'm a Gruul character, and that Gruulness really matters. Kind of only on Ravnica, in the context of Ravnica. Obviously, like you could technically take him to other planes, but generally speaking, if this is an aggro deck, which I feel like it could be, this hand is Garbo. Well, they're mulligan at least. I mean, Sarkhan plus Bolt Sleeves plus the red Elemental Cat could be worrying. Play this first. Not Ral. What is his damn name? I'm gonna Remorse here. Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and then next turn I'm gonna Remorse this. So it looks like it's Mardu Humans. Question is, did you get a Human to play? No. Cool. I'm gonna play this. I'll put that on the bottom, and then I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna tell this to go away. Nice removal there, friend. The best thief in the multiverse. What the f is his name? No, I know this. I know this. I can get this. It's... He's got the red hand. I can see his fucking face. Fac Daden. It's Dak Faden, but I remember I call him Fac Daden. I'm just gonna leave my little face here. Oh. Anyway. I haven't read his stories in his comics and stuff, so I personally don't know if his story was functionally complete. But the fact that he's like the greatest thief in the multiverse, I feel like we could have used him somewhere else. And now we likely won't get that chance. Dovin, very similar to Domri, I feel like had his arc kind of complete. It would have been interesting to see how he would interact with the Phyrexians, because Dovin's thing is all about like perfection and seeing the inherent flaws in things. So, in my opinion, it would have been super interesting to see another Tempered Steel deck. Okay. Okay. This time even might be the hit. Alright, well, next turn I can Banishing Light if I have to. And if they just play an even creature here, could be a Stone Cold Serpent or what have you. But if they just do something even here, then... Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and Banishing Light the Ginger... Fucking Jesus Christ. 5 damage turn 2, hell yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to yeet this out of the sky. And then next turn, I could Extinction Event, or I could just Settle the Wreckage, I suppose. Yeah, okay. So they don't have the Tempered Steel yet, which sets me up for being able to Settle the Wreckage. Odds, evens. And right now this is just 1, so I don't actually have to play anything. I could play a Kaya here. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. So it would be 6, and this does exile. And as of right now, like, Kaya wouldn't be threatened at all. So I think this is fine. Go and exile this. Doesn't get the trigger, which is nice. Are there other planeswalkers I feel like could have died during the battle? I feel like Sarkhan's story might be done. Sure, that's fine. That's 2 damage not coming to my face. That's what she said. Hallowed Fountain, let's play this tapped, and I think pass the turn. Yeet. So they can place Tempered Steel now? Oh, these come in tapped? Never mind. What was I saying? Right. I feel like Sarkhan's story is probably wrapped. I don't really see much else that he can do. Put it on the bottom, hell yeah. I can't really think of what else he might be able to do. Do I just want to yeet these before they can play this Tempered Steel? Because whatever's in their hand is a 3-drop. I'm almost certain. Be 4. No, I'll do this. I can take 4 damage.
Come. All your fears are given form.
Was it not? It wasn't a Tempered Steel. Interesting. Which means I get to hit that with my Extinction Event. I mean, I attack every time because it's going to die anyway, so I just want to put some stuff in there. What the fuck was that? Mega Stand? Indestructible! Oh, you poor, poor soul. Indestructibility means nothing now. Even. Who else? I don't know. I feel like everyone else, like, there still feels like story that we can get from a lot of these other walkers. Nighttime walker, keep your distance, stay away from us, stay where you are. History repeats the story.
Dream big. I leave you with one last.
Let me plus the other Ashiok. Exiles, baby. Yeah, that's the thing. I prefer storyline. Like, you know, I'm thinking about Magic story essentially like a comic book, right? And typically speaking, your comic book characters either don't die, or when they do die, they come back in like a revamping of the world. You can't really do that in a linear story. From my understanding, comic book stories are often cyclical stories, right? You can tell, you tell the origin story of Batman one way, and then you go through that progression of that specific Batman, and then in the next world of the DC universe, you go ahead and tell a slightly different version of that story, right? And you can have like super weird spin-offs where like I'm very upset with myself that I can't remember. I can't remember either of the adult Waynes. No, Martha and I'm such a bad DC fan. Damn it! If Martha and Bruce died, they've explored his dad becoming Batman. So there's a bunch of things that you can do like that. But with Magic the Gathering, you can't really do that. Like, you can't reset the multiverse. I mean, you could. I would not like them to do that, and I think most people would not like them to do that. But why the fuck? Music doesn't exist. I'm gonna press this. Magic's core characters are the Planeswalkers. And the reason they're the Planeswalkers is because they can go from world to world, and we can follow them. Right? We can see how they interact with different worlds and how they interact with each other in different combinations. Right? An interaction between Jace and Vraska is different than an interaction between Jace, Vraska, and Liliana. Right? An interaction between Jace, Vraska, and Liliana is different than an interaction between Jace, Liliana, and, let's say, Ugin. Right? Those different things are kind of the through line of Magic's story, whereas, in my opinion, the individual story, right, should be a set focus, right? I really liked the way Amonkhet was done, because we had this internal conflict with the whole, like, the world isn't real, like, everything's a lie. But we had this overarching plot line, or I shouldn't say overarching, like, we had the through line of this is Bolas's training ground where he's getting his army from, right? And I think that when you go to different planes, the core of the story, and I think they did this with Ikoria as well. Actually, this was even more correct in Ikoria. Ikoria was just like an internal conflict. Like, I think Vivian was looking for whoever she was supposed to hunt, and she's on Ikoria, blah, 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 and we're following Vivian. And it's a very isolated story. It might play a larger role somewhere down the line, right? But on Ikoria, we have Ikoria's story. And that's kind of what I prefer. I like to see the legendary creatures in the set, right? The inside story. I like to see when that has stakes, and the characters that we love on planes who can't run away, who can't escape, when they're put in actual real peril, right? Thalia, for example, is one of my favorite characters in Magic. Night Wizards, please don't kill her, please, please. But Thalia is one of my favorite characters. She has done multiple things as we've seen her through the various sets on Innistrad. If we go back to Innistrad and Thalia ends up dying, that is going to be a major hit, even though she's not a main character in Magic, because the main characters are Planeswalkers. I think that having deaths on planes, especially now that we're revisiting planes more often, is kind of where you can get most of the stakes. Now, it does obviously mean that we as fans and consumers of the property aren't going to be as worried about our favorite Planeswalkers as we would be about our favorite characters, as our favorite non-Planeswalker characters. But I do still think that Planeswalker deaths should and will play a role. And for me, I feel like that needs to have some sort of like good like catharsis or end of their story. And I think Gideon's a great example of this. His hubris got his friends killed, but his humility and his willingness to accept the strength of others and the redemption of others is what ended his life. But it put him at peace knowing that he was doing the right thing, right? So I think Gideon dying was a fantastic example of when a character in Magic should die. Gideon was easily like one of the main characters because he was on the Gatewatch. He was a founding member of the Gatewatch. He was like Superman in that regard. And I think him dying, especially the way he did, was very important. It would have been weird to me if Jace had died. And the reason for that is we still don't know a ton about Jace's backstory. You know, we haven't been to Vryn yet. We haven't, in my opinion, gotten to the end of his difficulty in the relationship he has with Liliana. You know, we've got a little bit of that in the War novel, if I recall correctly, but, you know, we haven't been able to see him really get that cathartic confrontation. And also now with Garruk being uncursed, what's that going to look like if Garruk confronts Liliana, right? I'd be very interested to see that. So it would be weird to me if they ended up just killing off, you know, Jace or Garruk or Liliana before those threads have been tied up. I'm not saying, obviously, like, once we realize a Planeswalker is kind of, like, finished all of his work, that they should just, like, oh, well, we know this character's going to die. For example, Sarkhan, I wouldn't have been surprised, as I said earlier, that if Sarkhan were to die in war, but he didn't. So I'm interested in what they're going to do with him moving forward, because I can't, like, his journey, in my opinion, or from what I've seen, is completed. But I don't know. You know, he might go back to, like, that's the thing, he might go back to Tarkir, because Wizards, I believe, have shown that people preferred the Khan's timeline to the Dragon's timeline. So it's possible that we're going to see this, if not total tonal shift with Sarkhan, we're going to see some sort of modification in his ideals, where he helps the humans regain power, essentially, or, you know, he works with them to have a more equal say in governance or whatever. So I think that's kind of where I stand on the war story. No one, I don't think you asked me about that deep of a question, Pyro, but that's my answer. So yeah, take it or leave it. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links to that down in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add subscription to Mana Pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, pass the turn in the vid, some of your friends, and of course, until next time, I will be one. It is toasty in here. I think I have to turn the fan on.